All right, there we are. How you doing, Jasmine? Hey, Peggy. How are you? What the hell? Okay, there we are. Hello, how we doing? Jasmine, that's as good as that's a good question. I have not the foggiest idea what I'm doing tonight. I crashed out early right after. I'm doing all right, Eddie. How about you? I crashed out after the live last night, and I woke up late. Had a whole bunch of other work to do, so I have no idea what I haven't had any prep time, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing tonight. It's this will be one of those. We'll see if it crashes and burns. But no matter what, we love the TikTok shop. We love TikTok. Hey, Rex, how are you doing, sir? Hello, Kansas. How are you? Or hello from Kansas. Hello to Kansas. I'm confused. That doesn't take much to confuse me these days. Yes, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing tonight. Got a couple of ideas. Nice. Good on you, Rex, man. I'm tired of the heat, man. I don't want any heat, but I just wish it would stop freaking raining. One step at a time, brother. One step at a time. Hey, Jules. Hey, Michelle. Lynn, welcome in. Hey, Mom and Up. Nice. Cool, man. At 96. I don't even think we broke 80 today. That's good progress, brother. That's good progress. I just wish it would stop raining so my freaking lawn would stop growing. Or at least stop growing so damn fast. I'll see what I can do to send it your way. Hey, Pizza Monster, how are you? Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what that smoke is. What am I reading tonight? I don't have the foggiest clue. I was telling everybody earlier, I crashed out after the live last night, and I woke up late, and I didn't get a chance to didn't get a chance to prep anything, so we love SpongeBob. I just discovered today, I was talking to my youngest daughter who's over in the UK, that there's an amusement park with a whole Nickelodeon section, and there is a SpongeBob, there's like 2 different like SpongeBob rides, and there's a Krusty Krab replica. I'm like, I want to go. One of the rides is a bikini bottom bus. So if you watch the show, you see it looks like one of those. Jasmine, I'll read that if you want me to read it. I'll read it right now. It looks like the bikini bottom bus, and I really want to get on there and be like, does this bus go to rock bottom? Yeah, it's in the UK. It's in the city of Blackpool, which is just north of Liverpool, where my daughter lives. She's going there with her fiance. God, I don't like say that word out loud. Fiance, jeez Louise. Somebody put me out of my misery. See, now I think of I'm thinking of Mr. Krabs, and all I can think of is when there's a line in one of the episodes where he goes, "What have the children ever done for me?" Yeah, it's that area. That whole area is really nice. I'm looking forward to finally going over there to I Am Old Wings. I am so freaking old. I am looking forward to going over there. I haven't been over since she moved, and it oh my gosh, it kills me every day. Yeah, there was. I do remember seeing videos about that. Right down the East Coast. I was actually supposed to be in South Carolina next month for a little while, for a couple days, or weekend or so, but that fell through because, well, we won't go into details about that. You know what? That's a good idea, Jasmine. I'm gonna read. There is an edition. One of these days I'll be on tour. I can tell you that right now. Hey, David, how are you? Hey, crazy mom. Well, I'm hoping that I'll be able to have enough interest in it that I'll be able to go to a bunch of places, but have not decided where and when, because that's quite a while. Well, one of the things that I would love to do, and I'm kind of letting the cat out of the bag earlier, but since you mentioned it, and I'm like, I'm actually considering putting together books of the public domain stories that I've read. So compilations, notes about the why I chose it for that the date that it was read on, and notes from the live, things like that, if there were any fun stuff. Everything from ghost stories to old science fiction stories. I would love to do like because there's some great gothic horror short stories from the late 19th century that I would love to put and I've read a lot of them here, so they would be familiar to you guys. But yeah, I was thinking about something like that, maybe bringing that to like a live show, so where I could you guys could buy a copy. Oh, Crazy Mama, please keep us posted. So, all right. So I'm actually gonna do this. I'm just gonna start because I didn't just. Well, I did a Christmas Carol last Christmas, and there was an L. Frank Baum short story called "The Kidnapped Santa Claus," which we did, but that dealt more with monsters than ghost stories. But I mean, I'd love to do more Christmas related ghost stories this year. I have a whole slate picked out for Halloween. Oh, that sucks. I never get sick, but that's because I never leave the house. Because I am broke. I am broke and unemployed, so I don't leave the house. But yes, as Wings said, please let him know that we are thinking of him. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start reading, and we'll just see how this night goes. And if you guys get sick of me and want me to shut my pie hole, I have no script tonight, so we're just going to kind of wing it. And seeing as Jasmine mentioned the spider and the fly, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and read it. I did, Pizza Monster, I did see the trailer for that, and I am of two minds about it. I think Johnny Depp is a great actor. It kind of feels unnecessary, but I don't know. Hey, Katie. Hey, CZ. How are you? All right. Well, this is The Spider and the Fly. The author's name is Mary Howitt. This poem was first published in 1829. And there's a wonderfully illustrated volume of it if you can find it. The artist's name is Tony Dieterlisi. Absolutely phenomenal artist. I have it somewhere. I would be happy to show it to you, but I can't find it. It's buried in my garage somewhere. So, this is The Spider and the Fly. "Will you walk into my parlor?" said the spider to the fly. "'Tis the prettiest little parlor that you ever may spy. The way into my parlor is up a winding stair, and I have many curious things to show you when you are there." "Oh, no, no," said the little fly, "to ask me is in vain, for who goes up your winding stair can ne'er come down again." "I'm sure you must be weary, dear, with soaring up so high. Will you rest upon my little bed?" said the spider to the fly. "There are pretty curtains drawn around. The sheets are fine and thin. And if you like to rest a while, I'll snugly tuck you in." "Oh, no, no," said the little fly, "for I've often heard it said, they never, never wake again who sleep upon your bed." Said the cunning spider to the fly, "Dear friend, what can I do to prove the warm affection I've always felt for you? I have within my pantry good store of all that's nice. I'm sure you're very welcome. Will you please to take a slice?" "Oh, no, no," said the little fly. "Kind sir, that cannot be. I've heard what's in your pantry, and I do not wish to see." "Sweet creature," said the spider, "you're witty and you're wise. How handsome are your gauzy wings, how brilliant are your eyes. I have a little looking-glass upon my parlor shelf. If you'd step in one moment, dear, You shall behold yourself." "I thank you, gentle sir," she said, "for what you're pleased to say, and bidding you good morning now, I'll call another day." The spider turned him round about and went into his den, for well he knew the silly fly would soon come back again. So he wove a subtle web into a corner sly, and set his table ready to dine upon the fly. Then came out to his door again, and merrily did sing, "Come hither, hither, pretty fly, with pearl and silver wing. Your robes are green and purple, there's crest upon your head. Your eyes are like the diamond bright, but mine are dull as lead." Alas, alas, how very soon this silly little fly, hearing his wily flattering words, came slowly flitting by. With buzzing wings she hung aloft, then nearer and nearer drew, thinking only of her brilliant eyes and green and purple hue, thinking only of her crested head. Poor foolish thing, at last up jumped the cunning spider, and fiercely held her fast. He dragged her up his winding stair into the dismal den, within his little parlour, but she ne'er came out again. And now, dear children, who may this story read, to idle, silly, flattering words I pray you ne'er give heed. Unto an evil counsellor close heart and ear and eye, and take a lesson from this tale of the spider and the fly. Hey, Sky, how are you doing? Oh, thank you. It's one of my favorite poems to read. It's because he just the spider is just such a big meanie. Hey, Buford, yes, indeed. You are here, and so am I. Oh, so Sky, how did you enjoy last night? And how did Marley enjoy last night? She's hanging with Mom being bored. Welcome to the club, kid. Help me, help me. It just reminds me of The Fly with Vincent Price. I'm so glad she had a good time. That was a lot of fun. That was definitely a lot of fun. I want to. I am so glad they enjoyed it. I really am. That means a lot to me, because I miss reading to kids. I am actually looking at, because I am in fact still unemployed, painfully unemployed. I'm actually gonna go up to the public library that's not too far from here, and we have a big public library, and go up there and hopefully maybe schedule some story times with some kids. 24. You know what? As long as he loves stories, that's good enough for me. I'm glad he was able to enjoy it. I really am. Have you ever read Indian in the Cupboard? I have. Both the first and second editions. I don't know as if I'll read them on here or not. I have my own personal reasons for that. Let's see. Oh, let's. You know what? How would you guys feel about a little Shel Silverstein? Katie, I was not able to get a copy of that, but I'm still looking, and as soon as I find one, I will let y'all know, because I felt so bad. I felt so bad that I couldn't find that. because that was it was the only requested book that I couldn't get my hands on. I'm sure I would. I love kids books, man. I am a giant child, actually. Peggy Ann McKay. Oh, I love Peggy. We love some Peggy Ann McKay. So I have several. I have all of his poetry books because, why not? I have read Winnie the Pooh, and The House at Pooh Corner is on my very short list of the next ones to read. So I will be reading to that. Movie night. Love movie nights. Let's read from Where the Sidewalk Ends. Yep, Peter Rabbit is on mine. It was on my list too, along with the Velveteen Rabbit. That was requested by my baby sister, who is 4 years younger than me. So, but this one is called Invitation. If you are a dreamer, come in. If you are a dreamer, a wisher, a liar, a hoper, a prayer, a magic bean buyer. If you're a pretender, come sit by my fire, for we have some flax golden tales to spin. Come in, come in. That's one of those ones that when I read that earlier, it kind of spoke to what we do here, and I talk about, come and joining me by the fire. Let's see. A light in the attic. There's a light on in the attic. Though the house is dark and shuttered, I can see a flicker and flutter, and I know what it's about. There's a light on in the attic. I can see it from the outside, and I know you're on the inside, looking out. How not to have to dry the dishes. If you have to dry the dishes, such an awful, boring chore. If you have to dry the dishes... Holy cow. Let's start that over again, shall we? If you have to dry the dishes, such an awful, boring chore. If you have to dry the dishes, instead of going to the store. If you have to dry the dishes, and you drop one on the floor, maybe they won't let you dry the dishes anymore. Thank you. We always my dad always sneezes in threes. So that's what I think tonight's going to be. It's just going to be me and some poetry and you guys and just hanging out and relating anecdotes, stuff like that. Because I don't think I have the capacity for anything else right now, which is okay. Where is my favorite? Oh, okay, so this is one of my absolute... Yes, so another awesome night that TikTok won't show anybody. But we love TikTok, and we love the TikTok shock. Say it with me, chop. Say it with me. We love TikTok. We love TikTok. Let's just get creepy about it. Hello, TikTok. We love you. One of us. One of us. Yes, freestyle Papa. I may lose so many followers tonight. You're all going to look at me and go, he's actually insane. Oh, yes. Alexander and that terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. We still, I think I said this yesterday, but we still, to this day, it's one of those, when somebody says to me, oh, man, I've had a really bad day. The first thing that comes into my mind is, yeah, some days are like that, even in Australia. And then they look at me like I have 3 heads and they stop talking to me for a while. And I'm not sure if that's a win or a lose. So this is one of my favorite Shel Silverstein poems. It's called Picture Puzzle Piece. One picture puzzle piece lying on the sidewalk. One picture puzzle piece soaking in the rain. It might be a button of blue on the coat of the woman who lived in a shoe. It might be a magical bean or a fold in the red velvet robe of a queen. It might be the one little bite of the apple her stepmother gave to Snow White. It might be the veil of a bride or a bottle with some evil genie inside. It might be a small tuft of hair on the big bouncy belly of Bobo the bear. It might be a bit of a cloak of the witch of the west as she melted to smoke. It might be a shadowy trace of a tear that runs down an angel's face. Nothing has more possibilities than one old, wet picture puzzle piece. That's what I am. I'm an old, wet picture puzzle piece. Oh, gosh, another one of my favorites. I'm just going to go through these because you guys will put up with me for a little while. This one is called Rock and Roll Band. If we were a rock and roll band, we'd travel all over the land. We'd play and we'd sing and we'd wear spangly things. If we were a rock and roll band. If we were a rock and roll band and we were up there on the stand, the people would hear us and love us and cheer us. Hooray for that rock and roll band. If we were a rock and roll band, then we'd have 1 million fans. We'd giggle and laugh and sign autographs if we were a rock and roll band. If we were a rock and roll band, the people would all kiss our hands. We'd be millionaires and have extra long hair if we were a rock and roll band. But we ain't no rock and roll band. We're just 7 kids in the sand with homemade guitars and pails and jars and drums of potato chip cans. Just 7 kids in the sand, talking and waving our hands and dreaming and thinking, oh, wouldn't it be grand if we were a rock and roll band? That poem is one of those ones that just, to me, speaks to how I was as a child and how I still am in a lot of, just being with your friends and dreaming about what it was going to be like. And maybe we could do the things that we dreamed about, that we were, sitting in the sandbox and just goofing off. There's something to be said for that. Ah, yes, wavy hair. I thought I had wavy hair until I shaved. Instead, I find that I have straight hair and a very wavy head. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's in here somewhere, I know. I know because I put it there. It's dark in here. I'm writing these poems from inside a lion, and it's rather dark in here. So please excuse the handwriting, which may not be too clear. But this afternoon, by the lion's cage, I'm afraid I got too near, and I'm writing these lines from inside a lion, and it's rather dark in here. Where is it? So here's one that actually speaks to the difference between my children. Pancake. Who wants a pancake? Sweet and piping hot. Good little Grace looks up and says, I'll take the one on the top. Who else wants a pancake? Fresh off the griddle. Terrible Teresa smiles and says, I'll take the one in the middle. I'll let you debate which of my two kids is the Teresa one. And I may, of course, be the only American I know that does not really care for pancakes. I know, it's un-American. What can I do? But I like cheeseburgers. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I want to say somebody, you what? Yes. And you know what? I don't like pancakes and you don't like pizza. So I think we're even. Don't get me started, lady. Now, if I said I didn't like bacon, that might be a problem. This is a classic. And I think somebody mentioned the character in this poem earlier. Sick. I cannot go to school today, said little Peggy Ann McKay. I have the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet, my throat is dry. I'm going blind in my right eye. My tonsils are as big as rocks. I have counted 16 chicken pox. And there's one more, that's 17. And don't you think my face looks green? My leg is cut, my eyes are blue. It might be instamatic flu. I cough, I sneeze, and gasp and choke. I'm sure that my left leg is broke. My hip hurts when I move my chin. My belly button's caving in. My back is wrenched. My ankle's sprained. My appendix pains each time it rains. My nose is cold. My toes are numb. I have a sliver in my thumb. My neck is stiff. My voice is weak. I hardly whisper when I speak. My tongue is filling up my mouth. I think my hair is falling out. My elbow's bent. My spine ain't straight. My temperature is 108. My brain is shrunk. I cannot hear. There's a hole inside my ear. I have a hangnail and my heart is... What? What's that? What's that you say? You say today is Saturday? Goodbye. I'm going out to play. Oh, pineapple and bacon. See, I'm also the guy that really doesn't want bacon on my pizza either. Unless it's breakfast pizza, then I can do bacon, but I prefer sausage. The English, they call cookies biscuits. And they call French fries chips. It's like, you know, I had this debate with my daughter not too long ago. I asked her, I said, who eats British food? Because like every takeaway, they call it takeaway, gotta say takeaway. Every takeaway restaurant out there is like pizza, burgers, chicken wings, dessert, like Indian food, Chinese food, like every other type of Italian food, every other type. There is not, I could not find a takeaway place that actually serves traditional British food. And I'm pretty sure that at this point, she's been over there for 4 years. I'm pretty sure that even British people don't eat British food. Beans on toast. That doesn't even sound good. But I promised that I would, when I go over there, I will actually wings. I think that's what it is, because I'm telling you right now, when I go over there, that's like I'm gonna go to a pub and get a full English breakfast, and then I'm probably gonna get sick, and that's okay. You know, I think so. Like with Rochester, I think we're a little bit spoiled because we have a really good food culture here. So there's a lot of places to eat. Unfortunately, it's gotten so expensive that it's really hard to afford to go out and eat. I mean, you don't even have to be broke and unemployed like me. Toad in a hole sounds good. Yeah, it's just an egg. It's just an egg inside of a piece of toast. And I will eat that. I don't think they invented that. I'm pretty sure. That's the thing, Eddie. I'm not quite sure what British food really is. It seems like a lot of like bland, like beans and potatoes and bread. Which, don't get me wrong, I love all three of those things. Bangers and mash, yes. Cowboy breakfast, yep. VG, how are you, brother? Welcome in, sir. I was looking for another poem, and I cannot. Oh, here's one. Where the sidewalk ends. There is a place where the sidewalk ends, and before the street begins, and there the grass grows soft and white, and there the sun burns crimson bright, and there the moonbird rests from his flight to cool in the peppermint wind. Let us leave this place where the smoke blows black, and the dark street winds and bends, past the pits where the asphalt flowers grow. We shall walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and watch where the chalk-white arrows go, to the place where the sidewalk ends. Yes, we'll walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and we'll go where the chalk-white arrows go. For the children they mark, and the children they know, the place where the sidewalk ends. Oh, yes. Here's a classic. Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. If you don't have a strong stomach, you might want to turn down this one. Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. She'd scour the pots and scrape the pans, candy the yams and spice the hams, and though her daddy would scream and shout, she simply would not take the garbage out. And so it piled up to the ceilings. Coffee grounds, potato peelings, brown bananas, rotten peas, chunks of sour cottage cheese. It filled the can, it covered the floor, it cracked the window and blocked the door, with bacon rinds and chicken bones, drippy ends of ice cream cones, prune pits, peach pits, orange peel, gloppy glumps of cold oatmeal, pizza crusts and withered greens, soggy beans and tangerines, crusts of black-burned buttered toast, gristly bits of beefy roast. The garbage rolled on down the hall. It raised the roof. It broke the wall. Greasy napkins, cookie crumbs, globs of gooey bubble gum, cellophane from green bologna, rubbery, blubbery macaroni, peanut butter caked and dry, curdled milk and crusts of pie, moldy melons, dried up mustard, eggshells mixed with lemon custard, cold french fries and rancid meat, yellow lumps of cream of wheat. At last the garbage reached so high that finally it touched the sky, and all the neighbors moved away, and none of her friends would come to play. And finally Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout said, "I'll take the garbage out." But then, of course, it was too late. The garbage reached across the state, from New York to the Golden Gate, and there in the garbage she did hate. Poor Sarah met an awful fate that I cannot right now relate, because the hour is much too late. But children, remember Sarah Stout, and always take the garbage out. Believe it or not, that is good parenting. Because if you cave and do it for them, all they learn is to whine and cry and wait you out. Hello, I hope your evening is doing well. You know what? I absolutely 1000% will read Ickle Me, Pickle Me, Tickle Me too. Let me go find it. because it is absolutely one of my favorites. I keep saying that, but I think a lot of them are my favorites. I find it, I swear. I swear I find it. It's in here somewhere. I will not give up until I have it in front of me. Oh, no, not there. No, not there. No, not there. Oh, where is it? Maybe it's not in that one. All right. Let's go to the index. Oh, there it is. What? What? There it is. I don't have Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. I would if I did, but I don't have it. Next time I do a picture night, I will make sure I have that one. Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Went for a ride in a flying shoe. Hooray! What fun! It's time we flew, said Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Ickle was captain, and Pickle was crew, and Tickle served coffee and mulligan stew. As higher and higher and higher they flew, Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too, over the sun and beyond the blue. Hold on, stay in, I hope we do, cried Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too, never returned to the world they knew, and nobody knows what's happened to dear Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Love me some Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. That sounds wrong. It just doesn't sound right. Oh, yes. Smart. My dad gave me $1 bill, 'cause I'm his smartest son, and I swapped it for 2 shiny quarters, 'cause 2 is more than 1. And then I took the quarters and traded them to Lou for 3 dimes. I guess he didn't know that 3 is more than 2. Just then along came old Blind Bates, and just 'cause he can't see, he gave me 4 nickels for my 3 dimes, because 4 is more than 3. And I took the nickels to Hiram Combs down at the seed feed store, and the fool gave me 5 pennies for them, and 5 is more than 4. And then I went and showed my dad, and he got red in the cheeks and closed his eyes and shook his head, too proud of me to speak. Me, 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 me. Enter this deserted house, but please walk softly as you do. Frogs dwell here, and crickets too. Ain't no ceiling, only blue. Jays dwell here, and sunbeams too. Floors are flowers, take a few. Ferns grow here, and daisies too. Whoosh, swoosh, to wit, to woo. Bats dwell here, and hoot owls too. Ha ha ha, hee hee ho ho. Gnomes dwell here, and goblins too. And my child, I thought you knew. I dwell here, and so do you. Oh yeah, you know what? I know that one, and I like trying to remember what it is. But yeah, it's like one about a snail. A snail with a tooth. No. No, not that one. Not that one. La, 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 la. Whoops. In the man, planet of Mars, love. And I'm sure you guys are all like enthralled by watching me scroll through. My apologies. Need to play the Jeopardy music while I'm like scrolling through stuff. Trying to find the stuff that I want to read. Oops. Well, this is just silly. That's just silly. Whoops. No. One. Hello. Nah, 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 nah. I'll start singing. No, I'm not. I'm not going to start singing. No, we are not. Oh, I know what I can show you guys because, there is no rhyme or reason to tonight, so why not? I read a poem that I wrote not too long ago. And I recently turned that poem into a song that I very much like. And I will play it for you. Playing solitaire and listening to me. Wow, that's exciting. I don't know what you do with yourself, man. All right, so this gets a little sappy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just hoping. All right. This is called The One That Got Away. It is not me singing. It is actually AI, but we won't talk about that.
I still drive past that old dirt road where your laughter used to fill my soul. We were young and wild, thought love was enough, but I guess forever didn't wait on us. I said some things I can't take back, and you walked away, never looked back. I will love you until my final day. With my last breath, I will whisper your name. I wish I could have been the man you needed. You will always be the one that got away. I still see you in that little black dress, in dreams that won't let me rest. Whiskey burns, but it can't erase the ghost of you I still chase. I trade my pride for one more night, to hold you close and make it right. I will love you until my final day. With my last breath, heart knows it's too late. Some things you just can't change. I will love you until my final day. With my last breath, I will whisper your name. I wish I could have been the man you needed. You will always be the one that got away. Yeah, you'll always be the one that got away.
Well, thank you guys for indulging me. That I was really proud of that poem and being able to. I'm not a musician, nor am I a singer, so being able to have a actual song to listen to is pretty wild. It is pretty wild. Yeah, it's a sad one. It's very personal. Very personal. Anyway. Okay. So, okay. So this poem it's not a Shel Silverstein poem. Thank you, River Grace. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, it was my college love. Yeah. She was something. She was something else. So this poem it's not a Shel Silverstein. It's not really a kid's poem either. So, but it's nothing crazy. It is a poem that was one of the very first poetry readings that I did on here on TikTok, and it's still one of my favorites. I've re-recorded it once, and it ended up on the grams of Insta. It ended up going semi-viral and ended up with, like, I think it's sitting at like 30,000 views at this point. Something like 1,500 or 2,000 likes. So it was very popular, and it's one of the ones that made me think, oh, okay, maybe this is something I should do. So, but it is a poem by Pablo Neruda, and it is called "I Do Not Love You." I do not love you as if you were salt rose or topaz or the arrow of carnations the fire shoots off. I love you as certain dark things are to be loved, in secret, between the shadow and the soul. I love you as the plant that never blooms but carries in itself the light of hidden flowers. Thanks to your love, a certain solid fragrance risen from the earth lives darkly in my body. I love you without knowing how or when or from where. I love you straightforwardly, without complexities or pride. So I love you because I know no other way than this, where I does not exist, nor you, so close that your hand on my chest is my hand, so close that your eyes close as I fall asleep. Timothy, yes, we do. Thanks, Buford. I appreciate that. Unfortunately, without it actually being produced by real humans, I don't think anybody would let that happen. And I get it. But someday I will have real musicians make it, and we'll see. But yeah, that is one of my favorite poems. Let's see. Oh, what the heck? Well, that's not what I wanted. This is what you shall do. Okay. Oh, good Lord. I just want the freaking poem. I don't need any, backstory about it. Give me the stupid poem. This is What You Shall Do by Walt Whitman. Come on. Why am I having trouble finding this? This is freaking crazy. Okay, so this is I don't know if this is a poem or just a essay or short thing that Walt Whitman wrote down. But this is called This Is What You Shall Do. This is what you shall do. Love the earth and sun and the animals. Despise riches. Give alms to everyone that asks. Stand up for the stupid and crazy. Devote your income and labor to others. Hate tyrants. Argue not concerning God. Have patience and indulgence toward the people. Take off your hat to nothing known or unknown, or to any man or number of men. Go freely with powerful, uneducated persons, and with the young, and with the mothers of families. Read these leaves in the open air every season of every year of your life. Re-examine all you have been told at school or church or in any book. Dismiss whatever insults your own soul, and your very flesh shall be a great poem, and have the richest fluency not only in its words, but in the silent lines of its lips and face between the lashes of your eyes, and in every motion and joint of your body. Hey, Gilbert, how are you? Welcome in. Just having some fun, reading some poetry. This is a completely off-the-cuff evening. Because I was kind of foolish and didn't plan like I normally do. How about this? No, I cannot read that one because I can't get through it without choking up. Me. Oh, life. This one is beautiful. It's another Walt Whitman. It is called Oh Me, Oh Life. You may remember this one. It was one of the poems that was featured in the movie Dead Poet Society. O me, O life, of the questions of these recurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish, of myself forever reproaching myself, for who more foolish than I, and who more faithless? Of eyes that vainly crave the light, of the objects mean, of the struggle ever renewed, of the poor results of all, of the plodding and sordid crowds I see around me, of the empty and useless years of the rest, with the rest me intertwined. The question, O me, so sad, recurring, what good amid these? O me, O life, answer that you are here, that life exists, and identity, that the powerful play goes on, and you will contribute a verse. Gotta love it. Oh, let's see. Oh, yes. So this is a French poem that I will be reading in English because I can't speak French. Oh. Let's just do this one. There we go. So this was written by Charles Baudelaire. And it's called Be Drunk. You have to always be drunk. That's all there is to it. It's the only way, so as not to feel the horrible burden of time that breaks your back and bends you to the earth. You have to continually be drunk. But on what? Wine, poetry, or virtue, as you wish, but be drunk. And if sometimes on the steps of a palace or the green grass of a ditch, in the mournful solitude of your own room, you wake again, drunkenness already diminishing or gone, ask the wind, the wave, the star, the bird, the clock, everything that is flying, everything that is groaning, everything that is rolling, everything that is singing, everything that is speaking. Ask what time it is, and wind, wave, star, bird, clock will answer you. It is time to be drunk, so as not to be the martyred slaves of time. Be drunk. Be continually drunk. On wine, on poetry, or on virtue, as you wish. And then in the house we have Buford, the solitaire master. Well, hello, Kate. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Oh, you are just on time. I have no plan for this evening. So I just finished a poem. I've been reading some poems, so whatever. Oh, you are late. You're Kate. You're not Kate. You're late. I don't know. I'm going to have to call you Kate from now on. Oh, you're probably not. Unless you want me to. Oh, let's see. Ah, yes. Here we go. All right. So I can't do a poetry night without reading some Robert Frost. Okay, fine. I'll call you Venus. You don't have to be Kate. I think we actually have a couple Kates already, so that might get confusing. Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. Whose woods these are? I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there's some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. I'm late. I'm late. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'm going to be late. And we read that not too long ago. We read Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. What? Well, if we're gonna do Robert Frost, I guess we should have to do the big one. And this one is The Road Not Taken, also by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could go. I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. You were close. You were close. I mean, it kind of means the same thing. Oh, goodness, goodness, goodness. Let's see. Oh, goodness. Let's do... I am like... Ooh. There we go. So one of the things that I have been playing with lately, I haven't posted a whole lot of it, but I have been reading some Shakespeare soliloquies. So I figure if you guys indulge me with the music, maybe you'll indulge me with a little Shakespeare. Now, this one comes from the play Macbeth. It is Act 5, Scene 5. And the main character, Macbeth, has just learned that his wife has died. Lady Macbeth has died. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle, life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Woohoo! I love that because it's short, it's to the point. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Let's see. What? Oh, let's just do this because I'm throwing caution to the wind tonight. All right. So this one is, for those of you that have ever seen the play Julius Caesar, this is from Act 3, Scene 2, when Mark Antony gives his speech at Caesar's funeral. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I've come here to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you that Caesar was ambitious. If it was so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under the leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff, yet Brutus says he was ambitious. And Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him with a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? Oh, judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me. That's another one. Thank you for indulging me, because who else is going to listen to me recite Shakespeare? Education of Little Tree. I've never even heard of it. I've never even heard of it. Which is not, surprising. There's a lot of things I've never heard of it. Thank you, Rita. To be or not to be. Oh, well, I'm going to round it out. I might as well do this one, too. It is one of my favorites, and it is one of the... It's the big one. It's the one that everybody goes, well, if you're going to read Shakespeare, you got to read that one. And I'm like, but what? I don't... Okay, fine. So, of course, this is Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil. I must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin. Who would fardels bear, to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have, than fly to others we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all. And thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment with this regard their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action. Soft you now, the fair Ophelia, nymph in thy orisons, be all my sins remembered. I feel like it should... Tessa, when did you sneak in here? Oh, just now, apparently. Oh, my Lord. What is this one? Oh, you know what? I like this one. Let's read some Emily Dickinson poetry. Peeking in before bed. Oh, cool. Oh, did you watch the Where the Wild Things Are video that I posted? I hope you did. No. Hey, you weren't there, and that was your requested book, so I had to cut it out and post it. Of course. I had to send it to one of my favorite peoples. Hey, you got a lot on your plate, lady. No worries. So this one is by Emily Dickinson, and it is called Because I Could Not Stop for Death. Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but just ourselves and immortality. We slowly drove, he knew no haste, and I had put away my labor and my leisure too, for his civility. We passed the school where children strove at recess in the ring. We passed the fields of grazing grain. We passed the setting sun. Or rather, he passed us. The dews drew quivering and chill. For only gossamer, my gown, my tippet, only tulle We paused before a house that seemed a swelling of the ground. The roof was scarcely visible, the cornice in the ground. Since then 'tis centuries, and yet feels shorter than the day. I first surmised the horses' heads were toward eternity. Yeah, I completely butchered that. Well, let's take a look. Oh boy, 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 boy. Oh. Okay. So this one is also one of the early ones I did. Just kind of going through my back catalog here. Now, CZ, you have a very good night. Sleep well. This one is by E. E. Cummings, and it is called I Carry Your Heart With Me. I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I am never without it. Anywhere I go, you go, my dear. And whatever is done by me, by only me. Let me start this over because I just completely butchered that. My brain is like seriously working faster than my mouth these days. This is I Carry Your Heart With Me by E. E. Cummings. I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I am never without it. Anywhere you go, my dear, wherever you go. Wow. Okay. Back up. Try again. Let's get this in try. I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I am never without it. Anywhere I go, you go, my dear. And whatever is done by only me is your doing, my darling. I fear no fate, for you are my fate, my sweet. I want no world, for beautiful you are my world, my true. And it's you are whatever a moon has always meant, and whatever a sun will always sing is you. Here is the deepest secret nobody knows. Here is the root of the root, and the bud of the bud, and the sky of a tree called life, which grows higher than soul can hope or mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. Yeah, that's one of the best. I love that one. Well, I am glad you enjoyed. That is one of my favorites. Okay, none of this sappy stuff. Let's read some more. Oh, I know. Wait. Okay, so I can do this without pictures because, yeah. I wish I'm not set up for it, unfortunately, but we're going to do it anyway. The Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss. The sun did not shine. It was too wet to play, so we sat in the house all that cold, cold, wet day. We're doing it live. I sat there with Sally. We sat there, we two, and I said, how I wish we had something to do. Too wet to go out and too cold to play ball, so we sat in the house. We did nothing at all. So all we could do was sit, 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 and we did not like it. Not one little bit. Bump. And then something went bump. How that bump made us jump. We looked, then we saw him step in on the mat. We looked, and we saw him, the Cat in the Hat. And he said to us, "Why do you sit there like that? I know it is wet, and the sun is not sunny, but we can have lots of good fun that is funny." "I know some good games we could play," said the cat. "I know some new tricks," said the Cat in the Hat. "A lot of good tricks. I will show them to you. Your mother will not mind at all if I do." Then Sally and I did not know what to say. Our mother was out of the house for the day. But our fish said, "No, no, make that cat go away. Tell that Cat in the Hat you do not want to play. He should not be here. He should not be about. He should not be here when your mother is out." Now, have no fear, said the cat. "My tricks are not bad," said the Cat in the Hat. "Why, we can have lots of good fun, if you wish, with a game that I call Up, Up, Up with a Fish." "Put me down," said the fish. "This is no fun at all. Put me down," said the fish. "I do not wish to fall." I'm not sure why they have British accents. "Have no fear," said the cat. "I will not let you fall. I will hold you up high as I stand on a ball, with a book in one hand and a cup on my hat. But that's not all I can do," said the cat. Look at me now," said the cat. "With a cup and a cake on top of my hat, I can hold up 2 books, I can hold up the fish, and a little toy ship, and some milk on a dish. And look! I can hop up and down on the ball, but that is not all. Oh, no, no, that is not all. Look at me now. It is fun to have fun, but you have to know how. I can hold up the cup and the milk and the cake. I can hold up these books and the fish on a rake. I can hold the toy ship and a little toy man, and look, with my tail I can hold a red fan. I can fan with the fan as I hop on the ball, but that's not all. Oh, no, that is not all." That is what the cat said. Then he fell on his head. He came down with a bump from up there on the ball, and Sally and I, we saw all the things fall. And our fish came down too. He fell into a pot. He said, "Oh, do I like this? Oh, no, I do not. This is not a good game," said our fish as he lit. "No, I do not like it. Not one little bit." "Now look what you did," said the fish to the cat. "Now look at this house. Look at this. Look at that. You sank our toy ship, sank it deep in the cake. You shook up our house, and you bent our new rake. You should not be here when our mother is not. You get out of this house," said the fish in the pot. "But I like to be here. Oh, I like it a lot," said the Cat in the Hat to the fish in the pot. "I will not go away. I do not wish to go. And so," said the Cat in the Hat, so, I will show you another good game that I know." And then he ran out. And then, fast as a fox, the Cat in the Hat came back in with a box. A big red wood box. It was shut with a hook. "Now look at this trick," said the cat. "Take a look." Then he got up on top with the tip of his hat. "I call this game Fun in a Box," said the cat. "In this box are two things I will show to you now." "You will like these two things," said the cat with a bow. "I will pick up the hook. You will see something new. Two things, and I call them Thing 1 and Thing 2. These things will not bite you. They want to have fun." Then out of the box came Thing 2 and Thing 1, and they ran to us fast. They said, "How do you do? How do you like to shake hands, Thing 1 and Thing 2? And Sally and I did not know what to do, so we had to shake hands with Thing 1 and Thing 2. We shook their two hands, but our fish said, "No, no! Those things should not be in this house. Make them go. They should not be here when your mother is not. Put them out, put them out," said the fish in the pot. Oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you. "Have no fear, little fish," said the cat in the hat. "These things are good things," and he gave them a pat. "They are tame, oh, so tame. They have come here to play. They will give you some fun on this wet, wet, wet day. Now here is a game that they like," said the cat. "They like to fly kites," said the cat in the hat. "No, not in the house," said the fish in the pot. "They should not fly kites in a house. They should not. Oh, the things they will bump. Oh, the things they will hit. Oh, I do not like it, not one little bit." Then Sally and I saw them run down the hall. We saw those two things bump their kites on the wall. Bump, thump, thump, bump, down the wall in the hall. Thing 2 and Thing 1, they ran up, they ran down. On the string of one kite we saw Mother's new gown, her gown with the dots that are pink, white, and red. Then we saw one kite bump on the head of her bed. Then those things ran about, with big bumps, jumps, and kicks, with the hops and big thumps, and all kinds of bad tricks. And I said, "I do not like the way that they play. If Mother could see this, oh, what would she say?" Then our fish said, "Look, look!" And our fish shook with fear. "Your mother is on her way home. Do you hear? Oh, what will she do to us? What will she say? Oh, she will not like it to find us this way." "So do something fast," said the fish. "Do you hear? I saw her. Your mother is near. So as fast as you can, think of something to do. You will have to get rid of Thing 1 and Thing 2. So as fast as I could, I went after my net, and I said, "With my net I can get them, I bet. I bet with my net I can get those things yet." Then, as I let down my net, I came down with a plop, and I had them at last. Those two things had to stop. Then I said to the cat, "Now you do as I say. You pack up these things and you take them away." "Oh dear," said the cat, "you did not like our game. Oh dear, what a shame, what a shame, what a shame." Then he shut up the things in the box with the hook, and the cat went away with a sad kind of look. "That is good," said the fish. "He has gone away, yes. But your mother will come. She will find this big mess, and this mess is so big, so deep, and so tall. We cannot pick it up. There is no way at all." Have a good night, Tessa. And then, who was back in the house? Why, the cat. Have no fear of this mess, said the cat in the hat. I always pick up my playthings, and so I will show you another good trick that I know. Then we saw him pick up all the things that were down. He picked up the cake, and the rake, and the gown, and the milk, and the strings, and the books, and the dish, and the fan, and the cup, and the ship, and the fish, and he put them away. Then he said, "That is that," and then he was gone, with the tip of his hat. Then our mother came in, and she said to us too, "Did you have any fun? Tell me, what did you do?" And Sally and I did not know what to say. Should we tell her the things that went on there that day? Should we tell her about it? Now what should we do? Well, what would you do if your mother asked you? Oh, boy. Okay, so let me think of something here. So I don't know if I've ever read this story, but we have about 22 minutes left, and I was thinking that I would read The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, because honestly, what else am I going to do? Got no other place to be right now, so I'll be here. Are we good? Telltale Heart? Yes, no, maybe? Don't you dare. Feel free. But I'm going to read it anyway. I'll read this, and I might read something else afterwards, depending on how much time we have left. True. Nervous, very, very dreadfully nervous I had been and am, but why will you say that I am mad? The disease had sharpened my senses, not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all was the sense of hearing acute. I heard all things in the heaven and in the earth. I heard many things in hell. How then am I mad? Hearken, and observe how healthily, how calmly I can tell you the whole story. It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived it haunted me day and night. Object there was none, passion there was none. I loved the old man. He had never wronged me, he had never given me insult. For his gold I had no desire. I think it was his eye. Yes, it was. One of his eyes resembled that of a vulture. A pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold, and so, by degrees, very gradually, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man, and thus rid myself of the eye forever. And now, this is the point. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing, but you should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded, with what caution, with what foresight, with what dissimulation I went to work. I was never kinder to the old man than during the whole week before I killed him. And every night, about midnight, I turned the latch of his door and opened it. Oh, so gently. And then, when I had made an opening sufficient for my head, I put in a dark lantern, all closed so that no light shone out, and then I thrust in my head. Oh, you would have laughed to see how cunningly I thrust it in. I moved it very slowly, very, very slowly, so that I might not disturb the old man's sleep. It took me an hour to place my whole head within the opening so far that I could see him as he lay upon his bed. Would a madman have been so wise as this? And then, When my head was well in the room, I undid the lantern cautiously. Oh, so cautiously. Cautiously, for the hinges creaked. I undid it just so much that a single thin ray fell upon the vulture eye, and this I did for 7 long nights. Every night just at midnight. But I found the eye always closed, and so it was impossible to do the work, for it was not the old man who vexed me, but his evil eye. And every morning, when the day broke, I went boldly into the chamber and spoke courageously to him, calling him by name in a hearty tone, and inquiring how he had passed the night. So you see, he would have been a very profound old man indeed to suspect that every night, just at 12, I looked in upon him while he slept. Upon the 8th night I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. A watch's minute hand moves more quickly than did mine. Never before that night had I felt the extent of my own powers, of my sagacity. I could scarcely contain my feelings of triumph. To think that there I was, opening the door, little by little, and he not even to dream of my secret deeds or thoughts. I fairly chuckled at the idea, and perhaps he heard me, for he moved on the bed suddenly as if startled. Now you may think that I drew back, but no. His room was as black as pitch, with the thick darkness, for the shutters were close fastened through fear of robbers. And so I knew that he could not see the opening of the door, and I kept pushing it on steadily. I had my head in, and was about to open the lantern when my thumb slipped upon the tin fastening, and the old man sprang up in bed, crying out, "Who's there?" I kept quite still and said nothing. For a whole hour I did not move a muscle, and in the meantime I did not hear him lie down. He was sitting up in the bed, listening, just as I have done, night after night, hearkening to the death watches in the wall. Presently I heard a slight groan, and I knew it was the groan of mortal terror. It was not a groan of pain or of grief. Oh, no. It was the low, stifled sound that arises from the bottom of the soul when overcharged with awe. I knew the sound well. Many a night, just at midnight, when all the world slept, it has welled up from my own bosom, deepening with its dreadful echo the terrors that distract me. I say I knew it well. I knew what the old man felt and pitied him, although I chuckled at heart. I knew that he had been lying awake ever since the first slight noise, when he had turned in the bed. His fears had been ever since growing upon him. He had been trying to fancy them causeless, but could not. He had been saying to himself, "It is nothing but the wind in the chimney. It is only a mouse crossing the floor," or "It is merely a cricket which has made a single chirp." Yes, he has been trying to comfort himself with those suppositions. But he had found it all in vain, because death, in approaching him, had stalked with his black shadow before him and enveloped the victim. And it was the mournful influence of the unperceived shadow that caused him to feel, although he neither saw nor heard, to feel the presence of my head within the room. When I had waited a long time, very patiently, without hearing him lie down, I resolved to open a very, very little crevice in the lantern. So I opened it. You cannot imagine how stealthily, until at length a single dim ray like the thread of the spider shot out from the crevice and fell upon the vulture eye. It was open. Wide open, and I grew furious as I gazed upon it. I saw it with perfect distinctness, all dull blue, with a hideous veil over it that chilled the very marrow in my bones. But I could see nothing else of the old man's face or person, for I had directed the ray as if by instinct precisely upon the damned spot. And now I have not told you what you mistake for madness is but over-acuteness of the senses. Now I say there came to my ears a low, dull, quick sound, such as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I knew that sound well, too. It was the beating of the old man's heart. It increased my fury as the beating of a drum stimulates the soldier into courage. But even yet I refrained and kept still. I scarcely breathed. I held the lantern motionless. I tried how steadily I could maintain the ray upon the eye. Meantime, the hellish tattoo of the heart increased. It grew quicker and quicker, and louder every instant. The old man's terror must have been extreme. It grew louder, I say, louder every moment. Do you mark me well? I have told you that I am nervous. So I am. And now, at the dead hour of the night, amid the dreadful silence of that old house, so strange a noise as this excited me to uncontrollable terror. Yet, for some minutes longer, I refrained and stood still. But the beating grew louder. I thought the heart must burst. And now a new anxiety seized me. The sound would be heard by a neighbor. The old man's hour had come. With a loud yell, I threw open the lantern and leaped into the room. He shrieked once only. In an instant, I dragged him to the floor and pulled the heavy bed over him, then smiled gaily to find the deed so far done. But for many minutes the heart beat on with a muffled sound. This, however, did not vex me. It would not be heard through the wall. At length it ceased. The old man was dead. I removed the bed and examined the corpse. Yes, he was stone dead. I placed my hand upon the heart and held it there many minutes. There was no pulsation. He was stone dead. His eye would trouble me no more. If still you think me mad, you will think so no longer when I describe the wise precautions I took for the concealment of the body. The night waned, and I worked hastily, but in silence. First of all, I dismembered the corpse. I cut off the head, and the arms, and the legs. I then took up 3 planks from the flooring of the chamber, and deposited all between the scantlings. I then replaced the boards so cleverly, so cunningly, that no human eye, not even his, could have detected anything wrong. There was nothing to wash out, no stain of any kind, no blood spot whatsoever. I had been too weary for that. A tub had caught all. When I had made an end of these labors, it was 4 o'clock, still dark as midnight. As the bell sounded the hour, there came a knocking at the street door. I went down to open it with a light heart. For what had I now to fear? There entered 3 men who introduced themselves with perfect suavity as officers of the police. A shriek had been heard by a neighbor during the night. Suspicion of foul play had been aroused. Information had been lodged at the police office. And they, the officers, had been deputed to search the premises. I smiled. For what had I to fear? I bade the gentleman welcome. The shriek, I said, was my own in a dream. The old man I mentioned was absent in the country. I took my visitors all over the house. I bade them search well. I led them at length to his chamber. I showed them his treasures, secure, undisturbed in the enthusiasm of my confidence. I brought chairs into the room, and desired them here to rest from their fatigues, while I myself, in the wild audacity of my perfect triumph, placed my own seat upon the very spot beneath which reposed the corpse of the victim. The officers were satisfied. My manner had convinced them. I was singularly at ease. They sat, and while I answered cheerily, they chatted of familiar things. But ere long I felt myself getting pale, and wished them gone. My head ached, and I fancied a ringing in my ears. But still they sat, and still chatted. The ringing became more distinct. It continued, and became more distinct. I talked more freely to get rid of the feeling, but it continued and gained definitiveness, until at length I found that the sound was not in my ears. No doubt I now grew very pale, but I talked more fluently, with a heightened voice, yet the sound increased. What could I do? It was a low, dull, quick sound, such as a sound as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I gasped for breath, and yet the officers heard not. I talked more quickly, more vehemently, but the noise steadily increased. I arose and argued about trifles in a high key with violent gesticulations, but the noise steadily increased. Why would they not be gone? I paced the floor to and fro with heavy strides, as if excited to fury by the observations of the men. But the noise steadily increased. Oh, God, what could I do? I foamed, I raved, I swore. I swung the chair upon which I had been sitting, and grated it upon the boards. But the noise arose over all, and continually increased. It grew louder, louder, louder. And still the men chatted pleasantly, and smiled. Was it possible they heard not? Almighty God, no, no, they heard, they suspected, they knew. They were making a mockery of my horror. This I thought, and this I think, but anything was better than this agony. Anything was more tolerable than this derision. I could bear those hypocritical smiles no longer. I felt that I must scream or die. And now again, hark! Louder, louder, louder! Villains! I shrieked. Dissemble no more. I admit the deed. Tear up the planks. Here, here! It is the beating of his hideous heart. I feel like I should follow that up with frickin' yakety sax or something. Or don't worry, be happy. Oh, good Lord. All right. I probably went a little overboard on that one. But I don't care. I don't care. That was just too much fun. I'm glad you loved it. Oh, thank you. I was yelling. I know. I'm sorry. You got tied up on a phone call. That's okay. Thank you, Starling. Oh, thank you, Venus. I appreciate that. So because I am a sucker for Poe, and we've got a couple of minutes left, I am not going to do the Raven because that takes too long, and after having just done the Telltale Heart, that takes a lot out of you. Yeah, no, I hear you. Sorry, Rita. Well, this one, it's sad, but it's a little easier. It's a little more palatable. As most of you know, Edgar Allan Poe had a very tragic life. Some of it came from the trauma of his childhood. Some of it was self-inflicted. And he essentially drank himself to death. One of his biggest tragedies was the loss of his wife. So this poem is called Annabel Lee. It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden lived there, whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. And this maiden she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child, and she was a child, in this kingdom by the sea. But we loved with a love that was more than love. I and my Annabel Lee. With a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. And this was the reason that long ago, in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabel Lee, so that her high-born kinsmen came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know, in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we, and neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea, can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And the stars never rise, but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so, all the night tide, I lay down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea. Okay, that hurt more than usual. I don't know why. I think Annabel Lee is one of the most tragic and beautiful poems ever written in the English language. That's the thing, Marcy. It works so well. It's easy when you have these words to work from, because you just feel it, and you can't. Well, don't worry. Don't worry, I will read it again sometime. And maybe I need to do more poetry nights like this, just something relaxing and, yeah. Well, It is 11:01. I'm beat. It's been a long day, but I really, really appreciate you guys putting up with me for the last 2 hours and listening to me ramble and read poetry of all kinds. And but yeah, thank you. I appreciate all of you that come in almost every live and hang out with me and support what I do here. I can't thank you enough for that. You know, things have been rough lately, and not gonna lie, money's hard sometimes, but I'm getting through it, and whatever you're going through, you can get through it too. And while you're here in this room with us, you matter, and I mean that sincerely. So that's where I'm going to leave it tonight. I am not going to ask for anybody to become a super fan. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, that is my brain in a nutshell. Is what goes from Dr. Seuss to Shel Silverstein to Edgar Allan Poe to Walt Whitman. It just bounces around. So, all right. Well, as always, until Wednesday, please be kind to each other and be kind to yourself, because kindness matters. And so do you. Thank you, all of you. Good night.